and grace for a leader to admit her fault in the world where many leaders act like demigods, says former President of Nigeria, President Goodluck Jonathan. It is time for conversation with Tola and Bimbo. You're welcome. Conversation.
A very good morning, and you are still very much on to Oluyole 98.5 FM on the stables of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. Welcoming you to Conversation this Thursday morning, the 23rd day in the month of April 2026. Our Conversation, where we bring you stories making the major headlines in the dailies, and we do our best to give you top-notch analysis. In due course, we get to open the phone lines. We invite you to be a part of our little talk shop, and together we try to understand, make sense of, unravel and discern those major events unfolding around our country, our nation, and our world. Mondays, Saturdays, except Sundays, we are here, and that is what we do on Conversation. And that's why the program is called Conversation. Our thoughts, views, and opinions is what you will be hearing from us as presenters and analysts, not the corporate views of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. And of course, we are networking on OLUYOLEFM 96.3, our sister station in Alaga in the Okogoro of the state, Agility FM, Gambari, Ogumosho on the 92.1 FM dial. No one beats our reach all over this great state. We are there. Beyond the Oyo State, we are there, and beyond the shores of Nigeria. Just latch on. We are the social media platform, Facebook, precisely at BCOS, and you are on to Conversation. Once again, wherever you are listening across the world, you are welcome. My name is Tola Teriba.
And of course, my name is Bimbo Akombi. And Tola, you forgot to mention streaming live, Oluyole 98.5 FM. Conversation is a program, and like Tola said, well, stories make the rounds across the country and beyond the shores of the country for us to analyze and to give our own views and opinions, and for you to contribute to this little talk shop here and know your own opinions too about those headlines and stories that we would have dished out to you. Yes, some headlines. Tola, before we go to the headlines here, there was something I observed yesterday. Yes, yesterday I was at not like a canteen, an eatery. Yes, canteen. Yes, it houses a bar. It houses a car wash. It houses maybe some restrooms also. So I was there eating. Now I now saw some little girls, like between 14 to 17, between the ages of 14 to 17. They came in strolling, and you know that they looked somehow weird, like some little girls that have been left out in the streets, and they were just about 3 of them, and they came in. The manager of that eatery was now asking them what do they want. They said they were looking for jobs, menial jobs. I now wondered, what is happening? I am sure these ladies will be sleeping in the streets. These young girls.
You said they were between the ages of 14
and 17.
17.
Yes.
And then they look like girls. They look like street girls.
Street girls. Yes.
So I mean, as in those that poverty might have pushed onto the streets,
yes,
like destitutes.
Destitutes, yes. and I was just wondering, and they looked like they are like prosperous, girls that will do well later in their older ages,
if given the chance.
If given the chance. So I was wondering that what is happening in our society.
Well, they could actually have homes, Bimbo, but the poverty you saw on them, the signs of poverty you saw on them, could be a sign of the times. They might not be sleeping on the streets, Bimbo. Actually, they could also they could be from homes where maybe to even eat once a day is a struggle. And maybe they, together with the parents, they reason it. Okay, they must have been the ones that even suggested that. Okay, let's go out there and look for a job. I'm not saying that is the situation, but I'm just looking at other possibilities. It's very possible that they are from homes that have been like many homes, like millions of homes in Nigeria today. And well, the authorities keep telling us that things like what you saw yesterday that will soon be over. But then I don't know, it's twilight for this administration, at least for the first term of this administration. It's twilight for the first term, and it seems to be getting worse. I mean, in terms of economic well-being of the people, and so just the same story the predecessor told us of the current class captain. He kept on telling us that it will get better, it will get better. His first term went, and they said, okay, they are now going to consolidate on second term. The second term, and here we are, still at like a game of musical chairs.
Yes.
You go around and round and round, and then you end up at the same point.
Like one piece that I played on air the other time. One step forward, two steps backward. At the end of the day, we are at the same place. Just the same point.
So those girls, a reflection of the Nigerian society.
Yes.
I thought you wanted to say that they were soliciting for men. That they were
No. They said they were looking for jobs. It was around between 5 and 6 in the evening.
So unscrupulous male elements could easily take advantage of them.
That is it. That is my point now.
All right. To the major headlines this morning. Now, that's banner headline before me. I'm still very much on national security. On Benny Sheikh killings, Senate seeks probe decisive action. One service chief to probe attacks on Benny Sheikh, Monguno military bases by insurgents. Military ISWAP logistics in Lake Chad kill over 30 fighters. As Aspeto government files charges against 5 suspects over Angwam Ukuba killings. As for the Senate, it's always the same old story. I'm not impressed. The next round of when the next round of killings do occur, they will still say the same thing. They will call for a probe, call for decisive action, and that's all. Many of them are afraid to go home now because their communities are in disarray, especially those from the northern parts of the country. The Senate on Wednesday called on the federal government to take decisive steps in ending the frequent killings in Benue State, blamed on herdsmen and bandits, particularly focusing on the latest attacks in Apa local government area. In a resolution, the Senate asked for the deployment of additional security personnel in Apa and other affected parts of Benue for a coordinated operation to contain the killings. As we speak, these coordinated operations are supposed to be happening. The military personnel are supposed to be stationed in those troubled areas. And Bimbo, the last time this kind of a mass killings occurred in Benue State before now, that's one that took the president to Benue. One would have thought that would be the last. One would have assumed that it would not happen again, that's never again. That magnitude of killings, and with the international outcry it attracted, and it took the president to that area. But then here we are, still the same old story. And it keeps recurring, and it saddens, like I always say, it saddens and angers me that these killers are not in hiding, Bimbo.
Yes.
The communities keep saying it. They are right there within the communities.
Yes.
And another thing that my grouse against the victim communities again is that in a state like Benue, we have so many ethnic militias. each ethnic group, well-armed militias, bimbo. But well, you would think that okay, this is their state, and that even if they had issues, if they had grouses, if they had axes to pick, with axes to grind with each other. Now, when they all become victims of a common enemy, you would expect that they would unite to fight their common enemy. No, they won't do this. Rather, they will turn their guns on themselves. They will start killing themselves.
Yeah.
Like
Donald Trump
said, give them guns. They will start killing. Instead of facing their enemies, they will start killing themselves. So that is the situation in Benue State is really very complex.
Yes.
And again, some of those ethnic militias, maybe the ethnic militia of a particular tribe now, to have an upper hand, they will go to the common enemy. It happens in Benue State a lot. They will go to their common enemy,
Yes.
the killer herders, the bandits, and tell them and ask them for help in dealing with their kinsmen, because if they are from the same state, I would assume that someone who's from the same state is supposed to be your kinsman, supposed to be your fellow Nigerian. But
what I always ask is what is really happening? What do these killings, what do they purport to achieve? I don't really know. What do these people want?
It's motivated by self-interest. There are these people we are asking, what do they want? There are people who spur them on, who instigate them to do these things, and then the bottom line is money. They give them money, and then these sponsors, of course, their own self-interest. It could be the mineral resources coming from that part of the country.
Yes.
It could be arable land. It could be anything, but then there are elements that do sponsor these things. The chief criminals. So many of the people the youths they use that don't have hope, youths that are helpless, youths that do not know what the future holds. So of course they are swayed by anything that is dangled in front of them in a state of hopelessness. So just like it is happening in northern Nigeria too, young people are willing to be recruited where the government does not offer them any hope, where society does not offer them any hope. So as we fight these insurgents, as we take the battle to them, these are the things we must begin to look at. Instead of negotiating and treating the bandits as if they were kings and emperors, let us look at the reason why are youths so willingly swayed. Why are you so ready to commit cold-blooded murder? Why are they joining the ranks of these people? And I believe we know the reasons. And just as we don't have the political will to fight the insurgents and the terrorists, we also do not have the political will to correct these anomalies in society.
Yes, and it all boils down to poverty. Yes. Now, again, now in Adamawa State, the state of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and former presidential candidate, suspected armed terrorists killed 20 persons in Pubago, Askira Uba local government area of Borno State and Mayulade Hong local government area of Adamawa State. Yes, that one is Borno, then Adamawa State. It was gathered that the attackers stormed the two border communities at about 4 p.m. on Tuesday, overpowering local security operatives before killing residents. And confirming the incident on Wednesday, the chairman of Askira Uba local government area, Made Saidu, said 11 people were killed in Pubagu, Borno State, while 9 lost their lives in Hong local government area of Adamawa State. And he said the incident happened around 4 p.m. and 11 people were killed in Mayuade Hong local government area in Adamawa State. 9 people were killed. Yes, 9 people were killed. So that is the situation there in Adamawa State now.
Our country and its new normal.
Yes.
It's becoming an everyday narrative. Sadly, you open the pages of newspapers each day and this is what you see: bloodletting, killings, and cold-blooded murder of innocent citizens, a man's inhumanity to man.
Yes.
And again, you wonder, what have we become? What is happening to us? What has happened to us as a people?
Well, that's the situation that we have found ourselves, and we hope that the military high command, the police hierarchy, and other security agencies through the federal government will just continue. We commend the federal government. We commend all the security apparatus. Yes, they are trying, but I think their best is not still good enough.
On Aleku, court remand suspects in DSS custody, others accelerated hearing. That's an update on the accused coupists who were taken to court yesterday. The federal government on Wednesday arraigned a retired Major General, retired naval captain, a serving police inspector, and 3 others on a 13-count charge before the Federal High Court in Abuja for allegedly plotting to oust President Bola Tinubu. The Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, is leading the federal government team in the prosecution of the alleged plotters before Justice Joyce Abdul Malik. When the charge was read to the defendants, they all pleaded not guilty, and Fagbemi prayed the court for accelerated hearing in the matter, and that the defendants be remanded in the detention facilities of the Department of State Services, DSS. And attempts by some of the lawyers to the defendants to move oral applications for the bail of their clients was rejected by Justice Joyce Abdul Malik, who ordered them to file normal applications to that effect and fixed April 27 for commencement of trial of the defendants. So much for the accused coup plotters.
Yes, they have been. They are appearing in courts now, and they have been remanded, like you said. Well, we'll see what happens as the days run by. We will see what will happen. We'll see the outcome of the trials. Yes, this one here says, still talking security here, Nigerian officials involved in killing of Christians. Like Donald Trump said when a congressman alleged the Nigerian government that Christians were being killed, in Nigeria. Now it is a U.S. Senator, Ted Cruz, that is talking now. He's saying it says a United States Senator, Ted Cruz, has accused some Nigerian government officials of involvement in attacks against Christians in the country. And Cruz made the allegation during a Senate Foreign Relations Subcommittee hearing focused on the United States counterterrorism strategy in Africa on Tuesday. And efforts to get the federal government's reaction yesterday proved abortive, but former information minister under the late President Muhammad Buhari, Lai Mohammed, said in United Kingdom yesterday that more Muslims than Christians were being killed by Boko Haram. Yes, I support what he's saying. They are all focusing on the fact that Christians are being killed. Nigerians are being killed. That has been my own opinion, and I grouse against this fact that only Christians are being killed. Nigerians are being killed, be it Christians, be it Muslims, be it Babalawus and all those. Nigerians are being killed. Don't restrict these killings to Christians alone. Nigerians are being killed.
Now, Bongo, if the counter-terrorism strategies of the Americans in Africa continues to be laced, I don't know if it's in the whole of Africa or Nigeria. Let's narrow down to Nigeria. Now, if it continues to be instigated or laced with religious undertone, then I don't think they are serious about this, unless, like I say, there's something else they are looking for. And the activities of that country in some parts of the world in recent times has made me to believe that they are up to no good. These are people that they see something in a particular country that they want, and they need an excuse to go in and take that thing by force. So
under the guise of one allegation.
So all they need is an excuse. In Iran, the excuse is that they are building nuclear weapons. The same excuse they gave when they led the invasion of Iraq. They said they were weapons of mass destruction, which have not been found till this day, and they've left that country devastated.
What about Venezuela?
So it honestly, I don't know why many Nigerians keep thinking that this man means well, despite his activities in the Middle East in recent times. So he has glaringly shown himself for what he is. I mean, talking about the American president and the American people themselves for what they are. And as far as President Trump is concerned, the whole world must become miserable so that Americans will live well, so that Americans will live in prosperity and in peace. That is his strategy. That is what he believes. So he doesn't mind if the world continues to suffer. He's fighting a needless war in the Middle East. And if he says he's protecting Christians, why doesn't he go to Israel to go and protect the Christians there? As we speak, Bimbo, it is an offense to preach Christianity in Israel.
In Israel, yes.
It is punishable by a jail term.
Yes.
And they are doing everything. If they could have their way, Christianity would no longer thrive, would no longer have a place in that country.
Yes.
Those who doubt what I'm saying should go and run their church.
They practice Judaism.
So why doesn't he? They are making laws to restrict the practice of Christianity, laws to oppress Christians. So Mr. Trump is not seeing that. That is not interested in that. He has said nothing on that, as if he doesn't know.
He will not see that. They are allies. They are allies now, so we will not see that at all.
And there are so many countries where Christians have been killed. Yes. Why he hasn't gone to Sudan? He hasn't said anything on Sudan. He hasn't said anything on DR Congo. Because in those countries, what he wants is not in those countries.
Yes.
So I believe the senators have continued to talk. The American senators, because Mr. Trump is still very busy with what he's doing in the Middle East. So very soon he will have our time, and I'm wondering whether we are going to continue to clap for him. All right. Let's have this quick commercial and we'll be back.
All across Nigeria, one truth prevails. Football is not just played on the pitch. Arguments fly, tensions shift like defenders on the pitch. And when the ball finally enters the net, that is the 12th player full attack mode. 11 players play on the pitch, but we, the fans, play from anywhere. With Betano, fans don't just watch the match, we influence the game. Register now and join the 12th player. Betano, not for persons under the age of 18. Bet responsibly.
Wake up, it's choco time. Dano Choco is here with a taste you love. Just open, pour, and enjoy the chocolatey ride. Dano Choco 3 in 1. Ooh, taste it, love it. Dano Choco 3 in 1. Ooh, I love it.
Introducing the new Dano Choco 3-in-1. It's tasty, creamy, and satisfying. Taste it, love it.
Some glad morning when this life is o'er, I'll fly away.
It is true that the departure of a loved one is painful, unbearable, most especially a caring, kind, and accommodating person. To God be the glory. This was exactly what happened on Friday, the 17th of April 2026. When our sister, colleague, associate, a Yoruba newscaster on BCOS Radio and Television and the Deputy Director, News and Current Affairs Department, Mrs. Adebukola Rachel Akintade, answered the home call to glory at the age of 54. Burial arrangements for Mrs. Adebukola Rachel Akintade are as follows. Thursday, 23rd April 2026, service of songs at BCOS Christian Chapel, Iliakede, Orita Bashoru, Ibadan at 4 p.m. Funeral service on Friday, 24th April 2026 at BCOS Christian Chapel, Iliakede, Orita Bashoru, Ibadan by 10 a.m. Announcer, BCOS family.
Fly away, oh glory.
Wake up, it's choco time. Dano Choco is here with a taste you love. Just open, pour, and enjoy the chocolatey ride. Dano Choco 3 in 1. Ooh, taste it, love it. I love it.
Introducing the new Dano Choco 3-in-1. It's tasty, creamy, and satisfying. Taste it, love it.
right, we're back, and there's still conversation on Oluyole 98.5 FM. As a public debt stock rises to 159.28 trillion naira, as federal government, states, local government share 2.03 trillion naira match revenue. Okay, so let's talking the economy now.
Yes. Now, talking about politics here now. Minister of Power, Adelabu Adebayo, popularly known as Penkelemes, on Wednesday resigned his position to pursue a governorship bid in Oyo State. Yes, at the end of the day, there were, rumors that he will resign earlier. There were rumors that he will continue with his job as Minister of Power, but now at the end of the day, he has resigned. And is the third minister to exit President Bola Tinubu's Federal Executive Council within the past 48 hours. And this was as the presidency pushed back against reports that the former Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, and former Minister of Housing, Ahmed Kangiwa, were sacked.
They said they resigned.
They said they resigned on health grounds. Well,
it's becoming a little too. I think it's a little late for them to start explaining that they actually resigned and were not sacked when every newspaper across the country, every social media platform had been awash with news that they were sacked by Mr. President,
and they were given a time to hand over to the next official in their ministries, and the new ministers were appointed almost immediately. So now the federal government does not say they resigned according to because of on health grounds. Well,
Mr. Wale Edun actually he was ill at some point in time. I said he has to be taken abroad, overseas for treatment. So I don't know if it's still about this, or maybe a very convenient way to explain why he was eased out. And Nigerians still remember, they said on health grounds, but the other time when the national chairman of the APC and former governor of Kano State, Alhaji Ganduje, when he was made to leave that office. I say made to leave because that is what majority of Nigerians believe. They said it was on health grounds. And almost immediately, someone who quit that office, who resigned on health grounds, almost immediately took up another very busy assignment. But the chairman of the aviation, I forgot what, but I'm trying to remember what they called it now. Were the chairman of the aviation board or something like that. So you can imagine. So Nigerians will also take this with a pinch of salt. But the presidency insisted that Edun has battled recent ill health and fittingly submitted this resignation letter on his birthday, thanking the president for the opportunity to serve Nigeria.
Yes, and he really served Nigeria. Yes, he served Nigeria.
Yeah, we did. Well, as for Mr. Bayo Adelabu, the Minister of Power, who now wants to throw his hat in the ring, he has every right to throw his hat in the ring. And as he's leaving, he's also recommended the creation of the Office of Coordinating Minister for Energy. Now, regarding his ambition, his interest in contesting for the top seats in Oyo State, well, a lot of people have heard out there on the streets not very happy with him about the power situation in the country and about the way things were handled, going from bad to worse under his watch. But then, my personal opinion here, I don't think whether people are going to vote for him or not, I don't think it should be on the basis of what he did as Minister of Power. I say this because that monster called erratic power supply, that inability to find a solution to the power problem in the country precedes him. It's like the oil sector asking someone, thinking an energy minister will be appointed today and they will find a solution to that problem in the oil sector. It's going to take a very long time.
Yes.
So ditto for the energy sector. This is a problem that has come to stay with us. Even the best of the best have been in that ministry. And when you are talking about being cerebral, we are talking about being a true technical. True is not from that sector, but then Adelabu is not a pushover. So if people, juggernauts have been there before him, he himself also been a juggernaut, and he cannot solve the problem. Well, I don't think, sadly, I don't think we should hold that against him.
Yes.
They simply put him in charge of a place where we all know that the problem cannot be solved by anyone. Yes. At least until that time when we are truly serious about solving the problem.
And I believe that yes, Mr. Adebayo Adelabu, yes, as minister, then minister of power, well, he was trying to put things in order. He was really trying, but like you said, the petroleum sector, they have cabals as well as the energy sector. There are saboteurs trying to tackle his efforts in bringing the power situation in the country to positive light. So that is the situation here, and that is what I think they are trying to suffocate him, and they have even suffocated him, and that is why people are not really happy with him. But that does not mean that they should not vote for him. If they want to vote for him, this is a choice by the people.
And then we are not making excuses for him here.
Yes, no.
Having failed in that office. All we are just saying here, and we are not campaigning for him. I don't get us wrong. We are not saying vote for Adelabu. What we are saying is that Nigeria's power problem is not about him. It's not about him. It's a very complex matter, and as minister, he can only do as much as he can do. So, if there are other shortcomings, of course, by all means. But I just think it won't be fair to heap that on him, and then if you want to decide who to vote for, you don't use that as a basis for that for writing off Adelabu. So let's just open our minds. So it's up to the people of the state to decide who they want to vote for. But we also have this one. Waiting game for ADC PDP continues as Supreme Court reserves judgment. Keep faith alive, Turaki-led camp, ADC tells members. And Wike's camp releases 2027 election timetable, holds presidential primary May 17. Mr. Wike going on and on.
It's just well.
There were another 6 reps members defecting to ADC APC. That's as APC contains majority with 282 seats, PDP 30, ADC 24, Labour Party 10.
Yeah. Well, that's that. Now Atiku now is talking to the National Assembly. He is saying that he has cautioned against what he described as a grave and dangerous ambiguity in Nigeria's Electoral Act, calling on the National Assembly to act immediately to safeguard the sanctity of the ballot. And in a statement signed by his senior special assistant on public communications, Frank Shoaib, yesterday, the Waziri Adamawa raised the alarm over Section 63 of the Act, particularly a provision that allows a ballot paper without an official mark to be counted at the discretion of a returning officer. This is not a minor technical issue, it is a direct threat to electoral integrity, Atiku declared.
And government that blocked 4 in Edo demand 30 million naira ransom. Let's open the phone lines. And about to call this 070 5555 1985. 070 5555 1985. Let's see the calls coming in.
And 08055009850. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you, sir.
I would not want us to blame the foreign countries, just like USA. The owner of the Assam, if they are very intact, the answer will not involve. And I want to ask you a question. How many Christian groups you see in Nigeria feeling and we need to blame him. Our leader does not do much until that man will have country. Then they take it serious. And when you talk of resources, America has their own oil insufficient. The young people, they are sponsoring all these wicked people around the world. And this is what the people are fighting. And US is helping Israel as a Christian country. So don't let us blame these people. We see more than we see here in Nigeria. And let them do what God sent them to do, to have peace in this world. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. To start with, the killings in southeast Nigeria, the killings and kidnappings in the southwest, the killings and kidnappings in Benue are not being perpetrated by Islamic groups. The people in the southeast, those who kill and kidnap people in the southeast, are not Muslims. Here in the southwest, those who kill and kidnap are not Muslims. So you can't blame the killings and kidnappings on Muslim groups alone, or Muslim terrorist groups alone. And Israel is not a Christian country. They are not Christians, and they do not like Christians. I can tell you that very categorically. They are only tolerating the Christians that live in that country.
Well, that is that for that. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This is a
Good to have you, sir.
We are appreciate you, Mr. Tola. For just being welcome when we continue to assist you.
Amen.
Mr. Bimbo and Mr. Tola, we understand your position as journalists, not to civil servants. You have to say what you are saying. We understand you. But frankly speaking, no Christians, I mean, are being killed in the country than any other regions. Look at Benue and Plateau states, which are predominantly Christian. See how they are being slaughtered in their 20s, 30s, 50s, even 100s. Look also at Southern Kaduna, populated by Christians. See how they are being killed. You see, in this country, our problems will be solved the moment we are able to tell things as they are. On Donald Trump and America, we allow him to come to Nigeria. Are we not killing ourselves really? Mr. Tula asked why he didn't go to Israel to fight for Christians. Is Israel a Christian country? Are there religious killings there in Nigeria? These are two different things entirely. Then, this in America we hear so much. Give Nigeria grants every year, and we can calculate it. Why? Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kombi Adebayo. Well, they give us grants, but then their gifts should not turn to Greek gifts.
Yes. Hello, good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Now, someone yesterday called me and said what I said on radio wasn't that. Where did I get my story? That those general that was killed, that some people captured the radio message and was said, I said I read, that is what they wrote, and what is what I read. And he said, the military should know better now. Why should I be? I said, look, all these institutions have been infiltrated because those people were resisting the terrorists until they tried to come for reinforcement, and the reinforcement did not come. So the impression they get was that all the camps had been overrun. So the person that had the confidence of resisting the terrorist group, when he heard that the reinforcement had not come, and he saw that bears are increasing the numbers, what will he do? Will he stay there? They have to run. That was what made them to run and abandon the general, and the general has to run too. So when the terrorist now came in, I think there are those ramifications who are part of telecommunication of the military when they are calling themselves. Somebody somewhere is telling the terrorists what is happening. That is the reason. So the situation has happened and military should work on it. So that's the best. Then the issue of Israel being a Christian country and America, people have this impression that the Israelis, this Israel is not a regular Christian. These are people who, what God used them for was not a means to an end. Just use them as a means to an end, and God has achieved the end. And now it's the grace that remains. If you believe in Jesus, you are saved. If you don't, they don't believe in Jesus, so they are fighting downwards. But what I like them for is that they don't, even the God they call Yahweh, they don't rely on Yahweh to fight their battles. They go to the battle by themselves and fight their battle. So that is what I like them for. So that is what they are doing. If let's say the Pope came out and criticized the American president for using God as a yardstick to enter Iraq and not the other. And you know what Trump said? He said he does not have no business there. Which is true. Because also he has no business in what? He was just criticizing. There are some, in this war, battles are different. There are some battles that are not religiously influenced. Battles in this present world is just a security. You want to compare that as two different things. Political battles and there's nothing similar in battles. That is what Islamists people are using the north. They are using Islam, not that they are Muslim. They are using Islam. But the problem there in the north is that the Islamic religious leaders in the north, most of them, let me tell everybody, most of them are not condemning it. So it's as if they are encouraging it. Until these people will spare them after they have been grabbed, which is not the case. So that is the problem they are having. The religious leaders in the north are not coming out to condemn this in totality. That's the problem they have there. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for those opinions.
And also for the Americans, like our caller said, they are not interested in saving the world. They are interested in perpetrating the interest of America. If saving the world means our country becoming like Iraq, if saving the world means our country becoming like Syria, if saving the world means our country becoming like Sudan, or our country becoming like Somalia, and many other countries that they have intervened and they've left those countries in the shambles, I think we are best left as we are.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. Move away from your radio set.
I'm
Good to have you, sir.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. I want to make a comment. All that are the business. When you are going to spoke, I'm going to take a test. We have to let us hear our own view. We are taking fast. We are taking fast that by saying that they are just saying they are not saying the business. And what the former speaker said that in most cases, the Christians are being threatened in Plateau State, in many places. So I don't know if I actually want to party the reality. It's not the fact. Let the people that they are not saying that people are there to work the performance with the FCC. So you say that it's not the problem. It's and then you say that people should vote for him. Why are you saying that? It's not that you are just you don't tell us you should not give it to tell us. It's just don't give your comment. Come on, don't give your comment. Let it be that people skill. Let it that people should vote for him to the level. The problem is the power. What is the problem?
Thank you very much.
You are only take side. You are not objective at all. You should be objective. I want people to take their right to take their respect and
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. You have made your point, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, allowing people to state their point. That is why we have a phone-in segment, so which you have just been able to take advantage of. That's why we have that phone-in segment. That is why you are able to get through to us. So I don't know what you mean by we not allowing people to air their own opinions. And as for the matter of Adelabu, like we said, we are not campaigning for Adelabu. We are not asking you to vote for him. We are only saying that he also has the right to throw his hat in the ring like every other candidate, and it is up to you to decide whether or not you want to vote for him. We are just saying that the power problem has come to stay with us like every other problem in this country, and that we might not want to really blame him for his failures in that regard, and that's our opinion anyway.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good
to have you, sir.
To understand ourselves, those who are calling, we used to give our friend our personal view without anybody disturbing us. As such, there's room for you to comment, to observe in this our video, and we appreciate the effort of the branch of Agri and that of yours. And about APC is a formidable party. It's a party to reckon. But their problem lies there. Whenever they want to choose a leader, a sole candidate for governorship, that is where the problem lies. And I believe with the pastor, for when you see them in the same agenda, the same attire, we think that they will not use any strong time to choose a popular candidate. See what is now going on. This one will go to the president, have a photograph, come back, and that one will go tomorrow. And that one, well, let me say what the president said, that he will be so happy if the other party is having problem. Now, another problem is emanating from the APC. To choose a sole candidate is a problem. In fact, that one will give room and will give an advantage for other party. So I believe it is high time they sit down together and the main fences. Thank you, Dr. Oladogo from America.
Right, thank you.
Actually, I'm not actually talking about Adelabu as APC candidate or aspirant. Now we are talking about his performance in the power sector as Minister of Power. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Bola, Mr. Bimbo.
Good morning.
My name is Sabah Mifabumi. I speak for Village in Osun State.
Good to have you, Mr. Fabum.
Let me just quickly comment. You don't mind that man just said you don't allow people to speak their mind. Don't just mind her. Nobody can anchor this program better than the way you are doing it. I say kudos to you. You just don't mind them. It's one of those things. Now, I just want to see that the security and economic problem we are having in Nigeria, this present government cannot and will never find solution to those problems because of the mindset of the people running the affairs of this country, and they don't really have solution to this problem at all. We are having one problem after the other because they don't have the panacea and the wherewithal to solve the problem. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abayomi Fabumi. Right, check your time is 7:30 and it's time to go. Been an interesting time on conversation, and we'll be back same time tomorrow morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akombi. Thank you very much for listening. Enjoy your day, and of course, Sports Tidbits is next.
Wake up, it's choco time. Donald Choco is here with a taste you love. Just open for and enjoy the chocolatey ride. Donald Choco 3-in-1, taste it, love it. Donald Choco 3-in-1, I love it.
Introducing the new Dano Choco 3-in-1. It's tasty, creamy, and satisfying. Taste it, love it.